Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Fahria, and Tarnagin. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagin. He was the one that Fahria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Fahria's betrothed. Despite Fahria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Fahria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Fahria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renin oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menancia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
No further! Illuminate the dark! Come forward!
We're not finished!
I'm ready! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! You're wide open!
Radiant Illuminate the
It was nice while it lasted.
On your knees! Holy land! Annihilate
In an instant!
Impact cross! You're all finishing here and now!
I call
Use the
it
deity!
Take
Hitting pile driver! I want this!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Harros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us. This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Go no further!
Now you'll learn!
I can carve through thank you! Take
Sweet now.
Watch it!
How long are we gonna keep this up for again? By the power of flame!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! Take that to me!
instant! Impact Frost!
Shine!
Eat
Radiant
this!
light!
Fire line!
Regeneration! Regenerate!
Eat dirt!
I really owe you one.
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Hi, Noodle! Let me help.
I really owe you one.
Thunderblade! Luna Blade! Luna Blast! Holy Land! A chain between heaven and earth. I see no press on the handshake.
Too slow!
Shattering the pieces! Attack time! Bloody howling! Watch this!
With the
An
earth!
instant!
With the hurricane!
There, feel!
Oh, now I'm real mad!
More for the
That's enough!
Can't get out of this!
Oh, what you
More where that came from.
Eat this! This one's all mine!
Here!
Now I'm in the groove!
Hitting fire! Hurricane!
In here! Saving this one.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Will this help?
I'm on it! Talon storm!
Here! Armor won't save you!
Another incantation ruined. A charge like that can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Explosion! Magic is
blood.
Take this!
Talon
Hitting
hurricane! Eagle ray!
Eat this! Take this! Dance in the wind!
Shattering the pieces! Attack time! I'm the flame inside me yearns to be let free! Talon hurricane! Seismic
What's
rupture!
this?
Rimworld! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
It was a close thing.
Little help!
First strike! Engaging! Smash you! Down on the ground! Rotating fireball!
Oh, violent darting wind. Magic
Is it too late to talk over our differences?
Bring them down! Steel!
Feel the power of flame!
This one's mine!
Down on the ground! No further!
I can do
I'm ready! Demons descend! Flashing fang! I'll finish you here and now!
I really owe you one.
A chain between heaven and earth.
That's awesome!
Now!
Dohalim! Hey! Blow them away!
I'm on a roll now!
Resonate with the earth!
Awesome! Stalagmite!
Here I go! Help this! Wind astral energy!
Render you apart! Scoot back!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
That'll bring you down!
First strike!
Holy land!
I'm ready!
Chain between...
In an instant! Impact Frost!
My exploits are bearing fruit. This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can, which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Fahria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Fahria to control Zugos like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zugos, then we get some answers.
Hit a word!
Air pressure!
Yes! Alphen, if you hear it now!
Come on! Faster!
I'm on it! That's freaking done! You can't get out of this!
Ready and raring!
By the power of water!
Talon Hurricane!
Raging Luna!
Come on! Arcade waterfall!
Shine! Radiant light! Burst of regeneration!
Radiant left! I'm all stuck up!
I really owe you one.
Celestial flame! I'm on a roll now!
Raging Luna Storm!
Healing circle!
I really owe you one.
Far beyond the darkness! Cyan instant! On team!
I can carve through arms!
Let's put you out of your misery!
Alphen, if you hear it now! Boost of regeneration!
Dance in the wind! Lunar corruption! More vengeance on prey! That'll bring you down! Tempest swirl!
No further!
I'll heal you all! Oh, violent guardian!
Everlasting
Call
shock!
it now! Healing power!
Eagle ray!
Field!
Sorry, trouble.
Talon hurricane! Gale by the power of water!
Shattering of pieces! I'm ready! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! Eat
By
this!
the power of water!
Elusive deity!
By the power of flame!
Dating pile
By the power of
Can you
fire!
take it?
If it's in the
I can
sky,
carve
it's
through
mine!
armor! Penumbra! Rotating pile
Star! Dance in the wind! This one's mine!
Soaring blast!
Change between heaven and earth! Magic is am! Divine savior! Healing circle!
Penumbra!
Thanks the freezing storm!
Death on the wind!
Ice tornado! Tempest swirl!
Elusive deity!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Eat this!
Water! Healing cold! Red! Hard! Take waterfall!
I'm on it! Don't suffer in fear! Freaking does it!
Lord with the stockpile! Raging cascade! Breath! Too much to handle? More with that
Over! Take this!
Air thrust!
All good things
Like
come to an end!
you get this!
Burn it out! And reach out!
Blah blah blah!
I'll grind you into
Holy
dust!
lamp!
Elusive deity!
Pull
What's
myself
this?
together.
Rotating pile
That'll
driver.
bring you down.
One final push!
Let's finish this off. Focus your attacks. Here's a raging star.
Now I'm in the groove! Watch it!
Flame of fury. Burning strike. Glacial spear. Here's the evil. Here's the death. Freeze laser. Handling. I'll fix you up. Render. Thanks so much. Squall. Annihilation.
Now I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Chain between heaven and earth.
Heal! That's
Halo lightning! Lightning! Stand by! Stay
Eat
to the
this!
wind!
Turn
Come
here!
here!
First strike! Down on the ground!
Over here!
Demon
Water
blast!
astral
I'm out of ammo! Soaring blast!
What now?
Strike! Alphen! In an instant! Impact claw!